What's going on, you guys? My name is Rage and I am back today here with the final part of my beginner farming guide series here, part 4. And honestly speaking, you guys, I say beginner guide, but if you're watching this video at this point, you're probably no longer a beginner. So if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and check out my parts 1, 2, and 3 of my video series, because it does lay down a lot of the foundation in terms of what we're going to be discussing today with respect to the overall end game. So at this point, you guys, you should have made significant progress on unlocking the following legendaries: Star-Lord, Shuri, Invisible Woman, Magneto, Black Bolt, as well as likely preparing for the Ebony Maw event, which is right around the corner here. So with that being said, we're just going to be finally talking about the prize of them all, you guys. The legendary of legendaries, Jean Grey, or also known as Phoenix. Unlike most legendaries, however, requiring the 5 yellow stars is not going to be the case for her. She's actually going to need 5 Mystic Controller villains. I know. How does that make any sense? I'm not too sure. The other legendaries actually made sense, but we're finally going to be talking about all the characters we mentioned previously in the earlier videos and talk about how they're going to come together. So Hela, we've already unlocked her early in 7-6, but we utilized her as part of the Asgardians team to unlock Black Bolt, and then ultimately Black Bolt's going to be used to unlock Ebony Maw. So that's why we're getting Hela at least early. If you can farm her to the 6 yellow, it's going to be great in terms of unlocking one of the 5 pieces needed for Phoenix. Next, it's going to be Loki. Similar situation to Hela here. The exact same. Bring him up to 6 yellow. Not going to be an issue because you do get you do get Loki quite earlier than Hela in the game, especially him being in that Mystic campaign. So definitely he's going to be utilized as part of the 5 pieces. Mortal. I mentioned this in my part 1, but whenever you guys do have spare arena energy, I always just try to pile it into the 6 yellow for Mortal. Not only does he add a lot of value into the campaign nodes, especially in unlocking Thanos, but additionally, Mortal is actually a really good character. He has a stun, he has a heal block, he's utilized pretty good in the game. He can kind of blend in with other teams. He can be a plug and play character. In addition, what's better is that he's also utilized as part of the unlock requirement for Hela. Next, you guys, Hand Assassin. Unfortunately, not really used in the game right now, just because the hand team overall just needs some rework. But you're gonna find at least the beautiful thing about Hand Assassin, as opposed to Ronan farming for Phoenix unlock, is the fact that she's actually farmable. So, and you can refresh power cores to get her. So that's what I did there. It was just easier for me. And last but not least, you guys, Nobu is also found as one of the 5 requirements for Phoenix. Unfortunately, he can also be farmed in the campaign nodes here, as you can see in Villains 6-3. However, he can also be found in the War Store. I don't recommend the War Store just because the War Store is pretty exclusive for shards and credits, and honestly speaking, I'd rather you guys save it for stronger characters like Mr. Sinister, Carnage, so forth. So just makes more sense to farm Nobu from the campaign nodes if you can, if you don't need to. So very excited, you guys. Phoenix is rocking right around the corner, so I'm very excited to unlocking her. And then next, you guys, focus on new legendaries, right? So for me, it's going to be Phoenix as well as Dr. Octopus that you see here. And for Dr. Octopus, his requirements can actually be requiring 5 of the X-Force characters. So we're just going to briefly touch base on them because, obviously now that they're actually readily available, you can farm them. So Deadpool, he's always been found actually in the arena store, so not a big deal. You guys can just farm him slowly, but like I said, I wouldn't focus on Deadpool at all earlier in parts 1 to part 3, just because you don't really need the X-Force, and Doc Ock isn't specifically required for anything pivotal in the game, so that's why I wouldn't recommend it. Fortunately, X-23 is now found in the War Store, so shout out to Scopely and Foxneck for actually including her now on a timely basis. As you can see here, I was able to unlock her at the 5 yellow here, so very happy, excited for the Doc Ock event. Next, Cable. Fortunately, he is found in the campaign nodes here. So as you can see here, Mystic 1-9, pretty early, but I wouldn't farm Cable earlier in parts 1 to 3 just because the progression doesn't really make sense. Once again, X-Force is not really required. They're a really formidable war offense team, but as you can see here, I haven't really built them up. Their sole focus for me will just be building up in terms of unlocking Dr. Octopus. Domino, fortunately, she's definitely one of the easier ones to get. You can find her in the Blitz store, so not a big deal there. Unfortunately, it has to be through the orbs. You can't purchase her shards individually. There is a chance to get her, but like I said, you guys shouldn't have an issue if you just spam the Blitz orbs. And last but not least, I have made a video on unlocking Negasonic. of course they put her at the end of the Doom Chapter 1. So I have made a video. I'm going to put it in the description below for reference, you guys. Wasn't too difficult overall. It required a decent Avengers team in addition to Invisible Woman, but I'm sure you guys can do it. I did use a lower team than most people, so hopefully my video is able to help you guys. But there you guys have it. That concludes the Legendaries of unlocking for both Doc Ock as well as Phoenix. So now we can quickly talk about the end game in terms of characters that you should be farming for in the store. So I mean, I already touched on Domino in the Orb store here, the Blitz Orb store. Unfortunately, there's not really many other characters I would work on. Only exception being is Strife here is part of the Emerauder, so I would slowly work him up now. But at that point, there's not really anyone I would specifically target. You can argue Ant-Man here because Pim Tech is likely going to be required for the next Legendary, so that's just something to be mindful of, right? But you guys shouldn't have an issue getting Ant-Man at 5 stars just because if you already open the Blitz Orbs randomly, you're likely going to have Ant-Man at 6 yellow or 7 yellow already. So Raid Store, to be honest, not too much going on in here. It's more so just getting shards that you don't have already. So once again, you can go to the orbs here to maximize value and see who you're getting. But we've already actually crossed our T's and unlocked everyone that we needed to, essentially. So I mean, at this point, it's really just kind of building up your roster. For the Arena Store, it is actually going to be Corvus Glaive here, you guys. He's going to be formulating a part of the Black Order meta team, so this is what I actually would recommend. As you can see here, I'm still purchasing the Crystal and Quake Shards here just in preparation for the Ebony Maw Legendary event, but Corvus Glaive is who I would recommend at this point in the game just to build up that meta team for your Black Order. And as for the War Store, the coveted War Store with all the high quality credits here, like I said, X23 is gonna be the recommendation in order to provide that requirement for unlocking Doc Ock. In addition, I still have been leveling both my Carnage and Mr. Sinister just because of their dynamics in the game and the ultimate end game. So with that being said, that concludes the store overall, the campaign characters that you should be farming. Now that begs the question, right? What's next in the game at this point? Honestly, at this point in the game, you guys, it is going to be going through the Dark Dimensions because they have a boatload of rewards. You know, and I have made a video actually where I unlocked Dark Dimension 1 before Dark Dimension 2 before Dark Dimension 1. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order, but I'm going to put my playlist below for the Dark Dimension 2 for you guys just because I was able to only use 5 characters and I one-shot all the nodes all the way to Ultron, and that's going to be likely the next target that you want in the game. You know, Ultron is considered a pseudo-legendary. He has so much offensive prowess in the game. Very, very formidable. Greatly adds to any roster. In addition, if you guys can unlock Ultron with fewer resources, why the heck not? So I'm going to put a link in the description for you guys. That way you can reference. I wouldn't fret too much about Dark Dimension 1 here, just because you see here it requires the 6 yellow. Well, guess what? You're going to get that over time. So I wouldn't just push a team in there just so that you can rush through Dark Dimension 1. Yeah, if you guys take your time, Dark Dimension 2 is probably more realistic. And currently, right now, I am building characters for both Dark Dimension 3 and then obviously, ultimately, Dark Dimension 4. So I'm going to make a separate video on that in terms of preparation. But really, at this point, that's the preparation plan, you guys. Unlocking the remainder of the Legendaries I need. Preparing for future Legendaries that could be coming. You know, the Pim Tech, it's going to be interesting who they're going to unlock. You know, rumor has it with all these new X-Men coming, maybe the coveted Professor Xavier is finally coming to the game. Who knows, right? We're seeing a bunch of new X-Men, X-Force characters, so very, very exciting time, you guys. So I just want to take the time to say thank you very much for watching this video guide and series. You know, this was intended for beginners and newer players, but I have been seeing that there have been a few veteran players actually watching my videos, so I do appreciate you guys providing your perspective and insight. You know, as always, I don't think my strategy and game plan is like the best or better than other people's, but it's just more so things I kind of wish I knew when I started the game. So I hope you guys were able to find value in these videos because if I watched these videos starting, it probably would have streamlined my process a little bit more efficiently in terms of who to invest in, which characters to follow up on. So as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys all the best, and I'll see you in the next one.